Oh yeah, another Tech Preacher podcast show. I'm your boy Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. We gonna have us some fun with this podcast as we celebrate and party in Android 13 on the LG V60. Look, I took some notes down and I got a lot of questions and some people asking a lot of things about what's going on with updates and stuff like that. And I want to voice my opinion about a few things here as we party about the new update of the LG V60. All right, so let's get into it, right? I don't want to waste no time. First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining the podcast, right? If you listening to the audio version of this podcast, welcome. As you guys know that I'm a huge LG fan, right? Listen, first, I want to get some of these things out the way, right? Listen, I don't work for LG, right? I'm just a fan of their product, right? I'm just a fan of the devices. And one of the reasons why I'm a fan of their devices is because they have been true and tested and it works great for me, right? And so I make plenty of videos about LG devices because it works for me. And I think a lot of people get confused on, listen, Eric, you got Galaxy phones, you got the Z Fold, you got iPhones, you got all these phones, and you revert to a company that closed their doors in their mobile department in 2021. And my response to a lot of people is that, listen, it works. It works great. And, you know, I don't see no reason why I need to just give up a product that works great. And I just don't understand that part, right? But I do hear a lot of people voice their opinions about, okay, Eric, you know, it's time for us to move on and stuff like that. You know what? You don't have to move on. You know, you can hold on to the device as long as you want. As long as they make phone calls, text messages, you could go online, you could watch YouTube videos, you could play games, you could do all kinds of things like that. I don't see no reason why you be forced to give up your beloved LG devices, right? Now, I know they got a lot of tech enthusiasts always look at, okay, so, you know, I mean, what's next for LG? What's next? I mean, they got Android 13. Well, here's the thing. Let's reminisce on the moment, right? Not everybody received Android 13 yet, right? We're not going to worry about tomorrow. Let's worry about today. And I think that's a lot of people just need to calm down, because as soon as they got Android 13 on their devices, they all hit me up in my DMs and emailing me, okay, what's next? What's next? And I understand people excited, man. I really do. And it's okay to be excited. But what's next? Enjoy the tech that you have right now. And I think that's what we need to focus on right now, right? So smartphones are very expensive. Look like every year the prices is going up. But here's something you could do right now to save some money. Switch to Mint Mobile, who I'm partnered with today's video. Listen, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless service for as low as $15 a month. And you know what? You don't have to sacrifice coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the largest 5G network. So why should you pay more when you could pay less to have access to the same network? One of the good things about Mint Mobile is that you can keep your current device in your current number. So use my link down in the description below to get that premium wireless service starting at $15 a month. I want to give a huge thanks to Mint Mobile for partnering with me in this video. Okay, so let's talk about this, right? A lot of people also hit me up and asking me, when would they receive their updates, right? Listen, again, I don't work for the carriers. I don't work for LG. Listen, I want to give a huge thanks to T-Mobile for dropping the update for the LG devices, because they've been a carrier that has been supporting updates for LG devices for a very long time, even though their mobile department is closed, even though it's really no benefit for T-Mobile to keep dropping updates. It's really no benefit. Let's talk about the benefits, right? And this is one of the reasons why AT&T and Verizon and other companies really not pushing out updates right now for LG devices, because it's no money for them. It's no money involved. This is not LG's fault. It's the carriers that say, hey, Why would we push out updates to our servers when there's no money involved for us, right? So, when you have greedy carriers that just looking for money, you go have these issues. When would you get the update? I'm not sure, right? Let's talk about AT&T for a second, because that is one of the hugest issues that I get a lot of communication from people. They're on AT&T. Some of them don't have active SIMs, and some of them don't have this, and some of them don't have that. Listen, even if you do have an active SIM and active service on AT&T, the likelihood of you getting this update, it's undetermined. It's undetermined. AT&T has been one of these companies that really don't support LG too much, really don't support the cause. They really don't support a lot of things dealing with LG. If you call AT&T, they will try to revert you into a brand new phone. They try to get you to get into a new device. So, listen, it's no money involved for AT&T. So if you're on the AT&T network and you got your LG V60 or LG devices like, the Velvet and all that, all of devices on AT&T, listen, man, I can't give you no type of estimate. I don't know when AT&T is going to drop this update. That's unfortunate. All right. Let's talk about Verizon. Verizon has been okay with updates on LG devices. And again, don't know when Verizon Wireless is going to drop the update for the LG V60. And listen, this is all unfortunate. And I'm going to tell you why, right? It's because after LG mobile department is closed, they made their promise on their end. LG made their promise that they was going to support their devices for years, right? They was going to support the devices up to Android 13, plus you're going to get 2024 up to 2025 maybe security patches, right? Okay, they made that type of communication to the fans and to everybody else. But here's the problem, right? If you are on carrier, it's up to them to deploy the updates, and that's where the issues come in at. LG have done their part. They had the V60 Android 13 was in beta when I made that video maybe about a month or two ago, probably not even that long. And the reason why, when I talked about the beta program, I said, well, LG V60 was in beta, Android 13 was in beta. That was a communication that I received from different groups and different avenues as far as, my Telegram groups and stuff like that, right? Okay. When Android 13 came out for the LG V60, listen, it is it's fun times, but like everybody was saying that, hey, listen, man, I didn't get the update. And I don't know how to even address that, because I don't work for the carriers and I don't work for LG. And I don't know if LG is communicating with carriers inside the United States, outside of the United States. I don't know. So when will you get your update for your LG V60? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm getting flooded with emails and DMs about when it's going to happen with me. Like, I work for LG, like I work for the carriers. I don't work for the carriers, and I don't work for LG. I don't have no type of front end information straight from LG. I have no clue on when you will receive your update. So I wish I had I wish I could give you guys a miracle on when you go get your updates. I just don't know. I wish there was a way that I could communicate with higher ups and let them to find out more information for you. But listen, if I find out any information, you guys know I will share it. So that's updates. So let's talk about some pros and cons, right? And let me go ahead and address the wideband L1 versus wideband L3. Now, listen, a lot of people, it's split down the middle. I made a couple of videos about the wideband situation on the LG V60. Now, the LG Velvet and the LG Wing and LG G8 and other LG devices has L1, wideband L1. But unfortunately, when I received Android 12, I lost the ability as far as wideband L1, it dropped down to wideband L3. And so we all thought that when the Android 13 release was supposed to fix that issue. And I made a comment and I talked about it in my videos, saying that when Android 13 come out, it will fix this wideband issue. But as I've been looking at Netflix and Hulu and all these other streaming services, even though it sees the LG V60 as the L3 wideband L3 device, the image quality absolutely is marvelous on it. I don't see any difference. Now, a lot of people hit me up in the DMs and say, "Hey, listen, I didn't see a difference, Eric." But some people hit me up and say they did see a difference. So, I mean, to each his own. And I know a lot of people have hit me up and say, "Hey, easy. I don't watch Hulu. I don't watch Netflix. I don't watch none of that stuff. I watch, YouTube, which on YouTube, you can go up to 1440p, 4K and all that stuff like that. And you go get a great image. The wideband situation is something that I wish that was solved with Android 13. I'm not the only one. It's split down the middle. I believe that we have a division on T-Mobile with LG devices. Some have L1, some people have L3. I was one of the unfortunate ones that got dropped from L1 to L3. How is that possible that you could go from L1 to L3? I don't know. That's a little like a software glitch and stuff like that. And when we going off of this one app, and listen, I understand, even though we go off this one app, if you do go into your Netflix, it does say 720p resolution because of the L3 support, right? So I don't know. And a lot of people say, listen, maybe it's time to, for LG to fix that or whatever, this, that, and other. I don't know. Again, it's split down the middle between devices. Some devices have L1, some devices have L3. So the question is, okay, easy, what is this L1 and L3 wideband and all this stuff like that? Okay, so that's a security thing as far as watching, movies in high definition and 1080p and stuff like that, right? So if you watch Netflix, right, if you want to watch it in HD, well, not HD, but Ultra HD and all this stuff like that in 1080p, right? If you have wideband L1, you could watch everything in 1080p in higher resolutions. If you have L3 or anything below L1, you get this. Unfortunate, the streaming services will look at your device as a 720p resolution type device, and it will show you content in that lower resolution. So that is the whole problem that people have, is that instead of watching it at 1080p, they're watching it at 720p. Some people saying that they see a difference. Some people saying that they don't. I don't see a difference, but I know it's each their own. Everybody's eyeballs is different. I guess that's why my eyes are going bad, because I don't see a difference. So that's the difference between L1 and L3. All right. So let's talk about some of the other things, right? Let's talk about the LG UI, because I think that a lot of people also had some issues about why there's no physical virtual eye changes. They don't see anything different. Listen, think about this. An iPhone been having the same UI since the beginning. And every time they come out with a new iOS version, you don't see no differences. But a lot of stuff happened underneath the hood. You do see some extra features that pops up, but it's not nothing groundbreaking. And I'm referencing iPhones because, every year a newer version of iOS come out. And if you turn on a phone, visually, you don't see no changes from year to year to year. All you see is the grid of icons. You press on it and open up apps. You don't see a difference. But a lot of things happen underneath the hood. And listen, LG UI hasn't been. LG UI has been the same since the beginning, right? I mean, yes, they've tweaked it with the LG G5, and when they got into the LG G6, they made some changes and stuff like that. But the UI from Android 12 to Android 13 it looks the same, right? But a lot of things happening under the hood. You do see some fine tuning and stuff like that. But let's talk about this, right? When we talk about Android, right? And this is one of the reasons why you see a lot of companies really not making visual changes to the UI. It's because you can always go to the theme store. You can always go to the icon store and drop icon packs and theme out your device to make it as customizable as you like. Think about this. If you hold pressure on your home screen and you go to wallpapers and themes, you could go to icon and you can change the icons however you want to. You could go to the theme store. You could change the theme however you want to. So you can fully customize your LG devices from pillar to post. So I don't think that's an issue. If you got a problem with LG UI, you could always go to the App Store and download any of the hundreds of launchers that's available in the App Store. I don't understand how that's an issue. I don't understand how that's an issue. If you want to change or customize your device, if you want to change icons, if you want to change the look and feel, if you want to change anything about your device, it's on the device. Go to your theme store, your icon store, and do it yourself, right? Or you could go to the App Store and download the plethora of launchers that's available, from Nova launcher to the Pixel launcher. Listen, I even have the Star Trek launcher on my device. You could do that it's anytime you want. I don't think that's an issue. All right. So I think a lot of people get these updates and they have an expectation that LG was going to completely overhaul the whole operating system. My answer to that question is, why would they do that? If it ain't broke, why would they change it? I don't see no issues with the UI, especially when you can change the icons, you can change the colors, you can change everything you want. Don't see the difference there, right? So, all right, and I understand how people are, right? People always find ways to complain, right? People always find things to complain about. People always looking for something when you know in the back of your mind it wasn't going to happen in the first place. So I think a lot of people voicing opinions about things that's happening, and I don't see why. But I do my best to answer a lot of people questions and stuff like that when they hit me up in my DMs and stuff like that. It's been flooded. Thank y'all guys for a lot of support. I just want to say that. All right. Now, one of the things that was brought to my attention was 8K time lapse. First of all, I didn't even know that it was 8K time lapse on the LG V60. Somebody hit me up and said, hey, they took away 8K time lapse and now it's 4K time lapse. I didn't know that. And my response to that individual that I don't have an 8K TV. I didn't even know that they had 8K time lapse. I never do time lapse. I am so sorry that you lost 8K time lapse and it went from 8K to 4K. I have my Galaxy S23 Ultra here, and let me see if they have 8K time lapse on this device. And let's see. Well, I don't even see time lapse on here. Oh, it's hyperlapse. Okay, so hyperlapse on the Galaxy S23 Ultra, and let's see. Yes, it only goes up to 1440p. So the Galaxy S23 Ultra only goes up to 1440p, which is Ultra HD, not 4K. Well, maybe 4K. All right, so maybe 4K on the Galaxy S23 Ultra in time lapse. So if the LG V60 had 8K time lapse that the one or two people hit me up with, listen, I did not know that. So I'm just going by your comment and you telling me that it had 8K time lapse. Now it doesn't have 8K time lapse. I'm sorry that again, the Galaxy S23 Ultra don't have 8K time lapse. So it got 4K time lapse, HD time lapse, right? Well, UHD time lapse, which may be either 1440p or 4K. All right, so that is that. Another comment that I got was multi-window. Somebody hit me up and said, hey, the multi-window is not working. And I've been using my LG V60 with Android 13, and multi-window works just great. Again, I'm just want to answer some of these questions that a lot of people hit me up in my DMs and say, hey, this is not working. This is not working. What's going on with this and this? What's going on with that? I use multi-window all the time on my LG V60, which I got it right here. And multi-window works great. So I don't know what's the deal with that. So I just want to, let people know about that. Also, let's talk about the headphone jack. Listen, I have master dynamic headphones that takes a lot to drive. And the LG V60 quad DAC works great. Now, somebody hit me up and said the quad DAC is not working. I don't understand that. The quad DAC is still working great. Matter of fact, it's working extremely great. Well, listen, when we talk about the quad DAC and we talk about the LG V60 with the quad DAC, that's one of the best features of the device itself is the quad DAC. I can tell you that it sounds 2 times better now with Android 13 versus Android 12. I believe it sounds better. So I want to address that. All right. And battery life. Listen, everybody is proclaiming that they are getting better battery life versus Android 12 going into Android 13. I've been having Android 13 for a couple of days now, and I can protest that the battery life has been better. It is better. It is better versus Android 12 going into Android 13. All right. So, all right. And listen, why do people have these inconsistent issues with their device, right? I could tell you this much. I would encourage everybody to do this, that if you have problems with your LG V60 or any devices that once you get an update, you do have these issues, right? Listen, I always do this, and I would encourage this. Factory reset your device. Make sure you back up what you have. Factory reset your device. If you could do this. Now, a lot of people can't do this. If you could start your device from scratch, just get rid of all the trash, all the garbage, and start fresh. Download your favorite apps again and re-sign into everything that you need to sign in. Yes, it's a tedious process. I do that with all my devices. Once I get a major update, I factory reset. I get rid of all the trash. I make sure that I back up all my videos and back up all my, the photos. I'm going to put it on the computer. I'm going to back it up in the cloud. Once you do that, get rid of all of that and start fresh. Your device will work so much better. It don't matter the LG V60. It don't matter what device it is. If you do a factory reset on it, it will work like butter, baby. So just so you know, I would encourage everybody that's having issues with the LG V60, just go ahead on the factory reset it, start off from scratch, download your apps and just start off like that, right? And it's not just the LG V60. I would encourage people to do that with every device that gets a major update. All right. So another thing that I do want to address is every time I make these videos about my wallpapers, right? A lot of people always ask questions about the wallpaper that I use on my devices. Listen, I have a dedicated website, right? easycomputersolutions.com. I have a full tutorial, and all the links to my wallpapers is on my website. Anytime you want to get that teardrop and that waterfall wallpaper, anytime you see a new wallpaper on any of my devices, it's going to be available for free on my website. All you have to do is go on my website. If you need to find that tutorial video, it's on the front page of my website, along with all the links and all the wallpapers that I use on all my current devices. It's available for free for you to download and enjoy it. So wallpapers on my device, it's available. So another question that I got is the pen, right? Yes, the pen does still works on both screens. I don't know why. Again, I'm going by the multitude of people asking these questions. So these are the questions that I want to answer in this podcast. All right. So here's the bigger question. And I want to answer this question for everybody that has an LG V60, right? The people, listen, it's split down the middle. Listen, I think a lot of people just take this out of proportion, right? People ask me as soon as they drop Android 13 on their devices, right? People ask me, oh my God, so what's next? Well, are we going to get Android 14? Are we going to get Android 15? I can't wait till the next update. And my answer to a lot of people, calm down. Calm down, baby. Enjoy the update that you got today. Not everybody is enjoying this update, by the way, because they're on AT&T and Verizon. So enjoy the update. Enjoy your tech. Don't get yourself all twisted up in a pretzel because you thinking, oh my God, I can't wait till Android 14. Listen, man, enjoy the moment. Reminisce the moment. Enjoy the tech. Listen, I don't, I think people be so anxious of what's next. Listen, let's go through 2023. Listen, we will discuss this in 2024, right? Let's go on and reminisce and enjoy our tech in 2023. And don't worry about what's next. We'll worry about that next year, right? And once we worry about that next year, and then we'll start discussing what's the next move. What's alternatives? Should we hold on to our beloved LG devices, or is it time for us to move on? Think about this, guys. Think about all the money that you've saved over the past years for a device that has been very good for a lot of people. Think about every year from 2020 to 2023, people going out and spending $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 every year on new Galaxies and new iPhones and new Galaxies, and you losing features, headphone jacks, no quad DACs, you losing features. You don't have no SD card support. You don't have none of this stuff, and they don't put power bricks in the box. You don't get none of this stuff, right? And people get caught up in the hype of spending $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 for devices every year when you have LG owners that's reminiscing the moment that they love their beloved devices and they love, that their devices is working great for them. Okay. I believe that a lot of people ought to, just chill, enjoy the moment, just enjoy your tech. Listen, I think that I don't know why people always so hype and ready for the next thing. Think about this. You could get an LG V60 right now, the T-Mobile variant. The T-Mobile variant that will have Android 13. You could get it right now for $214. Listen, we're not talking about $1,200. We're not talking about $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. We're talking about $200. $200 for a device that's running the latest security patch, Android 13 to boot, headphone jack, with the best quad DAC in the game, a beautiful display, blazing fast speeds, great cameras, one of the best cameras in the game, right? On the LG V60, battery life that's beating 90% of over 200 phones that I have in my arsenal. 90% of them get beat by the LG V60, right? You got all this stuff for a phone that costs $200. And I don't see how anybody could complain about that. I don't see how the best cameras in the game, the best battery life in the game, SD card support, best headphone jack in the game, pen support, pen software, desktop mode, dual screen support, everything else in between for $200. How could you complain? How could anybody complain? If you complain about it, go spend $1,400 on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Go spend $2,000 on the Galaxy Z Fold. Go spend thousands of dollars on a device that will make you happy. Go spend it, because if that, instead of complaining, just go to buy what you need, baby. It's no need to complain. All right. I wanted to make this podcast, and I wanted to talk about, because I'm hyped and I'm motivated because I like what I saw. Listen, for a long time, I've been making videos about the LG V60 and LG devices. I got a lot of LG phones. I got a lot of LG phones over there. I have a lot of LG phones from the V10, V20, V30, V40, I don't have the V50. I got the V60. I got the LG G2, G3, G4, G6, G7, G8, right? G7, G8. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have a lot of LG phones, and I absolutely love them. From the LG Velvet to the LG Wing, I absolutely love my LG devices. You know why? Because they work, baby. All right, let's get out of here. Woo! Man, another podcast, baby. I want to dedicate this podcast because I want to do a Q&A. I want to answer some of these questions, baby, because guess what? It's LG week, baby. Thank y'all guys very much. Hopefully I'll answer y'all guys' questions. If you have more questions, drop it down in the comments below. I got a lot of videos that I got coming out for the LG V60, baby, because it's new, it's fresh. It has the Android 13 update, baby. Oh, yes, you got to be hype. If you hype, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. If you hype about the LG V60, baby, getting Android 13 to boot. Woo! Yes. If you don't have Android 13, baby, you go get it. I don't know where you go get it, but you go get it. I don't know. I can't answer those questions. But you know what? Today we go party. Oh yes. Yes. Thank y'all guys very much. I really do appreciate everybody that come joining the podcast. Yes. Man. And you're right. Yes, right. And listen, before I get out of here, you're right. I am stuck in 2020. I absolutely love it. Yes. Give me 2020 any day of the week, right? A lot of people say, your devices that came out in 2020, easy. It's 2023. You got to get with the latest and greatest. You know what? I got the latest and greatest. I got all the phones. I got it sit right here. But you know what? This gonna be my baby right here. This is my baby right here. How? Thank y'all guys very much.